It's DIY construction time, and in this case, we've taken a trip to South Asia, specifically Pakistan, where a giant chicken coop is under construction. And the first thing being done, marking out the dimensions and digging spaces for the foundation. Then some concrete blocks are brought in and laid into those grooves. They'll be buried, half covered in the dirt to hold them steady. And you can see this chicken coop already has a few residents. They're going to love the new digs. More and more of the bricks are brought in to create the sections of this coop, starting with the outside wall, which gets some on-the-fly adjustments. The end hammered away to ensure it meets the adjoining wall, and then some actual cement and sand for mortar mixed up on the fly in the yard. That'll be carted over and laid on top of those concrete bricks, troweled on one at a time as each layer is built up, carefully scooping it on, laying it out, and ensuring those bricks are lined up. If the walls are imbalanced, and that starts right down at the foundation, well then, the whole building could collapse on these poor unsuspecting fowl. And for these gentlemen, for whom those chickens provide a very important resource in the form of eggs and eventually meat as well, they definitely don't want that happening. But they're working quick to give them a comfortable new space, as that brood of chickens is growing. A little more work on some of those bricks to ensure they fit, and all those gaps filled with a little extra mortar to ensure they're stuck in place. A little extra weight building the walls along the back. Those are just going to be supports, so they're mortared and stuck to the back, and eventually the rest of the framing will be done with wood and a rolled out bamboo sheet above. If the entire thing were made of cinder blocks, it would likely get too hot and wouldn't be properly ventilated. Getting there now. They can only move so fast, as they've got to let this mortar set just a little bit to ensure the wall is stable. But check that out, those quick and experienced hands laying down that mortar to a nice smooth finish, and then in comes the next gentleman. A pretty cool spacing technique there. A few broken pieces from some of those other bricks and blocks used as filler amongst the mortar. Just about done now, and then it'll be on to adding some wooden framing, a little bit of chicken wire, and then the new breed. The supports now all level, and once they're dried, some joists can be run from one side to the other. Carefully laid over top, they'll be nailed into place to ensure they don't collapse, and then, once sturdy enough, one lucky gentleman gets to roll out the welcome mat, and that welcome mat on the roof. A rollout mat of thin bamboo. All that's needed now is an access hatch. For that, a door/window frame quickly hammered together to fit, some hinges nailed on, and then it's time to get that chicken wire on there to ensure none of them escape, and of course, to ensure no predators get in. All made on the fly, using the materials that they have. It might not look like a chicken coop you've seen before, but check it out. It is definitely a happy little coop.